What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Los. Let's get it.
All the Hebrew Israelite camps. The boys lying, lying. The boys lying, lying. The boys lying, lying. The boys lying, lying.
They out there with the posters. A lie is what they told ya. Got you believing that you woke up, but you still dead in your sins. Riding down the highway, pushing that 85. Buckle up, we can ride. Contemplating my day, trying to clear my brain. Rolling with the top down, soaking up the sun. It's summertime, y'all, time for riding fun. Got to see recline, one hand up on the wheel, swerving around the corner. You gon' cruising down the street in my 9-4.
All right, so as you can see, we're talking about. I'm gonna start calling him the super producer, Jay the producer, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second. So basically, the other day, I was just getting off work, or about to get off work, something like that, and I got an email from Jay the producer, basically saying that he saw my Hazakim review, and he was really impressed with the review, and so on and so forth, and just asked me would I do his review, and I was just honored. I mean, y'all know me. I'm honored when you guys hit me up personally and say, "Yo, could you please do a review for my album or whatever, or for this album here, whatever." It's a humbling feeling, man. I really appreciate y'all for that. So yes, he hit me up, and so before I heard it, my wife had already heard it, and so I sent it to her, and she was like, "Yeah, we already jamming. Me and the girls, we love the album, and so on and so forth." So that was a good feeling for me already, as it is. So my wife, I didn't know what he was at first. I didn't know if he was an R&B singer or a hip hop singer or like that, because he said that I knew he was a producer because he said in the email that he produced actually 2 of the songs off of Hazakim's latest album, Origins. One of my favorite songs, which is Bloodline, and then also Look and Listen. And so I knew he was a producer, but I didn't know really much more about him at that moment. And so got off work, immediately got the album, and man, I gotta tell you, I've been just rejoicing in the Lord ever since. It is a well-published, well-produced, well-organized album for a number of reasons. One in particular is it does to me what's necessary. It does for me what's necessary for me in my life. So Scripture makes reference to the fact for us to keep the Lord's laws on our lips constantly, right? To keep the laws before our eyes constantly. And this album does that because the melody on this album is so rhythmic, and it's so catchy, I guess I want to say, that you find yourself singing. Like the first actual song on the album is called Messiah, and I find myself just singing the chorus to Messiah on the regular basis, and actually in one time in particular, I late at night, just be transparent, by myself, felt like I was going to do something, wanted to do something, felt that desire to do something. Hopefully y'all caught on to what I'm trying to say, and that song, the chorus came to me, and it's Messiah I think it's staring down on me or watching over me or something like that, and just the thought of me doing that act, and the Lord just sitting there watching me, kind of just hit your boy. I'm like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just a beautiful thing. So this album here, from Messiah to I Can Wait, which is basically talking about just wait upon the Lord. Save Us, which is I just gathered just basically just the Lord save us from from sin, from the world, so on and so forth. That to was the wombs of the world, which is what Tony from Hazakim's on that song there. Actually, really is, you could say it's really Tony's song, and then Jay, the producer, is actually just doing the chorus and producing it, and grooving and so on and so forth. Just it's only 8 songs now, technically 7 if you don't include the intro, but each song, in my personal opinion, has the ability just to get stuck in your mind and has you just repeating certain songs, just the choruses as a whole, and which would help you in your walk, in your day-to-day, remembering the beauty of the Lord, and have you really just fighting sin, man. Just be straight with you. It's just a beautiful album. So the album, well, real quick, Jay the Prince man, I'm sorry, Jay the producer, starts the album off, like I said, with this intro, and this intro starts off with him, or he basically, I guess, I'm assuming he's in an auditorium, right? And this auditorium, so he gets announced, hey, you know, Jay the producer comes up, and he's talking to a room full of people, one will assume, and basically just, you know, talking about how he used to be a Hebrew Israelite, which I thought was just an amazing way to start the album off. And he goes into detail about how, you know, how he was and what his thought process was and so on and so forth. And then he starts to say how the Lord saved him and brought him out of that. And in the midst of that part, he brings up how he asked for forgiveness. He's repenting amongst the people for being deceived and then deceiving others as well. And it just that blessed my heart to hear that. And then that's why the album is actually called AD, after deception. I keep wanting to say the other thing, but after deception. And so basically this album here is basically the album after the Lord brought him to the realization of his sins and you know, the wrongs in which he did while trying to follow the Hebrew Israelites, and he's walking in the beauty of the Lord now. And I just think it's just a beautiful, well done album. He produced the whole thing, wrote the whole thing, and of course he's singing on the whole thing. And I was really amazed, really amazed at the way this album was done. And I was amazed a lot because it's like one of the same things I said about Jason Stevens. Like, he can sing, so Jay the producer can sing, right? But he's not trying to do all the riffs and not trying to woo woo woo. You know, he ain't trying to do all that there. He's just singing, using his gifting, and in the using of his gifting, he's glorifying the Lord and exalting Christ on the high, right? And so there's certain songs, for instance, I'm just going to be straight with you, the song Messiah, I would strongly advise you not to play that song in your headphones walking through Walmart. You will get kicked out. Walmart in Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, I am sorry, was not my fault. Blame Jay the producer. Your man just couldn't stop moving. It is what it is. But nevertheless, though, the song is just a dope song. But like I said, man, just there's not really much more I can say about it, except for just the beauty of how he orchestrated each song. And what I gather from it, right? I gather each song plays a part as to how he is, how he's feeling right now. So, rejoicing in the beauty of the Messiah, right? Shining his light on him. He says, I was down for a minute. I was lost and trapped for a minute, but then the Messiah came and got me out. And I you know, it's obvious to see that he's talking about when he was with the black Hebrew Israelites, how the Lord came and snatched him up out of that and brought him to freedom and to peace. And then there's one about haters, which has a nice little Caribbean kind of smooth move to it, right? And basically, you know, let that hate go in one ear out the other. And I just liken that to basically, you know, anyone from that old campus, you know, coming to him sideways, or how could you, blah 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 blah. And he's basically just saying, yo, y'all do y'all, whatever I'm doing what the Lord got for me to do, and I'm not listening to that hate. Y'all, I'm sure they talking trash about him, whatever. I'm glorifying the Lord. I'm good. And then he got one called Save Us. I don't know. I'm speculating on all this, but I just feel like basically the Lord saved him from that. One about love makes the world go round, something like that. It just because, you know, the Hebrew Israelites usually are really like mean kind of people, not really much love and a lot of hate, and basically just saying, man, it's just love. I don't know, man. I got the impression that basically this album was his way of saying, this is where my life is now, as opposed to where it once was, and he's glorifying the Lord, man. Another good thing about this album, one quick second. All right. Another good thing about his style with this album is, I'm not sure who his musical influences were, but I there's some certain songs. So that song, let the hate, basically let them hate. It's a reminiscence to me, right, of the old Michael Jackson or old Bobby Brown, New Edition style. Like the way he was singing, it just, I don't know, it brought me back to that. And then the song Groovin', which is the last song. Now, don't take this the wrong way, but it reminded me of basically that R. Kelly, don't take that wrong, but the R. Kelly, you know, back in Chicago, skating kind of groove kind of song, like, you know, Step Into the, whatever he had that song called. It just had that nice little, like, step thing, like this album was played at a skating rink, you know what I'm saying, kids be getting it. Like each and there's the song Love. It reminds me of Joe, you know what I'm saying? Like just not the freaky Joe part, but just the Joe love your girl kind of Joe. And just this album was just a beautifully done album, man. Just the production was on point. It wasn't overproduced. It was. I've said before about when the artists and the producers come together, right? It's you can tell it's a beautiful marriage, right? So in this case here, since he did, I'm assuming he did all the production for it. Of course, he's one with himself, but you can see that he just put his own little spin on everything, and basically just I feel like he's the kind of guy who likes to tinker, right? Like even though it'll be done, it's perfect. No, I gotta add this, so I gotta add that to it. And there's one song. Which song was? I think it was the second track, not Messiah, right after Messiah. Like I said, the one that has that little Caribbean feel to it. At the very end of that song, there's like a Congo per se. So the song is over and here, boop. I just caught up on that. It was just kind of cool to me. For it's like he just wanted to just add his little, like he wasn't done tinkering with the song. The song's over, the beat's done. He's about to mix and master, but he just want to add a little boop at the end. I don't know, just something simple like that. I don't know, but overall, man, like I said, just a dope album, man. Just a beautiful album. I praise God for the Lord brought him from where he is today. He went to Full Sail University, man. I definitely salute that. They do a great job with raising up great engineers and producers, man. And so I can see his gifting in that. His gifting coming from what he learned, and man, just overall dope album, man. Just a well-crafted, God-glorifying album. Not too, check this, right? So it's not too over-theological, but then again, it's definitely not watered down. The homie K-Dub, it's Chris Williams, he's on this album. And actually, it's funny, when I heard the intro, and then I saw that K-Dub was on the album, I immediately first thought was, oh, that song's gonna be about Hebrew Israelites, because if you know anything about Chris, the homie is deep in that. He gets busy with that, right? But that song, that was about basically just waiting on the Lord, and I thought that was kind of beautiful, man. Like it was a good switch up from what I'm used to hearing from Chris, but just I think Chris's style was dope on it. He did confuse me a little bit because when he was rapping, I kept thinking he was done rapping. Because when you hear the song, you'll see what I'm talking about, where he'll just start rapping, then and he's rapping, he'll stop, and you're like, oh, okay, he's done, and then he'll stop back up again, like, oh, he's not done, and then he'll stop, oh, he's done, then he start back up, oh no, he's not done. He did it a few times throughout his verse, and I was like, all right, cool, but it was still dope though. I was still impressed with that. And then, like I said, the song with Tony from House of King, killed that joint, man. Just a beautiful song, man. Just showing the creation and how sin entered them. But then I love when he said, and Satan thought he was doing his thing, but then boom, steps in the Messiah, and I was like, get him. And so it's just a beautiful song, man. Beautiful album as a whole. As usual, y'all know I'm not cool with the little 7-song EPs. Wish it was longer. Wish he was put more out. Come to find out, so actually. Okay, I'm gonna say that part. Come to find out, this joint dropped last March, according to iTunes. And so, as I'm listening to this album, I'm thinking, yo, it's February, March around the corner for us in the South, so it's gonna get warm pretty soon. This is definitely a barbecue kind of album. Man, hey, y'all come through the spot, let's get it. And I'm gonna throw this joint on, we're gonna get it. But I'm pretty sure we got the album last year because that joint last year. But nevertheless, though, I love the feel of this. Just a nice, on a long drive, man, chilling with your family, dope feel. But one thing that I'm not saying don't do this or do this, but this is something that I can see happening. You can go to a secular event, whether it be a roller skating rink or it be a secular barbecue, whatever, and throw this album in, and it will. So the production, the groove will make everybody sway, everybody move, everybody bob your head. Now, you know how us folk do when we get some chicken in the hand, some rib in the hand, and some good music going too. Boy, it's a party. It's about to get it. You know what I'm saying? So this is definitely that kind of album there. But the beautiful thing is that for the time being, for the moment, the beat has you mesmerized, right? And the rhythm has you mesmerized. So you're not really understanding that this is a Christian artist, a Christian album, right? But yet the words will have no choice but to stick into your mind. And I can just see cats sitting there at the barbecue or the barbershop or wherever, singing Messiah. You know what I'm saying? They're gone. They've got their hair cut already, so they're in their car driving, whatever, and back at work or whatever. You know, and they just find themselves singing, you know, Messiah. You know what I'm saying? Or Let Love Heal You. You know what I'm saying? Or just something like that. But I could just see this album being the kind of album that will stick in your mind, and for us believers, just remind us daily about the beauty of who the Lord is. And for those that aren't saved, it has the ability by God's beautiful grace to draw them in and make them even wonder, like, wait, well, why am I singing this? And wait, what does this even mean? And you know what I'm saying? And just, man, just a beautifully done song. I would love to hear Chris Jones on the album, only because I know his interactions also with the Black Hebrew Israelites. Honestly, I'm gonna be straight with you. At first, I was confused because the intro is pretty lengthy intro for first off, which is a little odd, but pretty lengthy intro. And he's basically talking about the whole Black Israelites. He kind of goes in detail about that. So I almost was looking forward to hearing 8 or 7 more songs about Hebrew Israelites, right? Or something about that, or give more detail about coming from that, right? But he didn't actually do not one song directed towards them. But I expected that because of the intro. And so then, did a little research, and you saw in the video, the beginning of the video, there's a song called Them Boys Be Lying. And, it was, that to me was kind of explained, like, okay, so basically you did all that, and then you're doing this here as to say, I'm done with that. I've already spoken that, removed that, so I'm done with that. Let's move forward now. And I appreciate that, man. I love it, man. Dope album. Yeah. There's really not much more I can say about it. If there's any flaw, I would say is make it longer. I guess make it longer. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I promise you, as I sat to listen to this album, I've listened to this album repeatedly. It's on 7 songs, so listen on the way home from work, the whole thing. But it's just a beautiful song, man. Beautiful album. Just glorify the Lord, man, and I love it. I encourage you to go get it. Please spend the money. Don't stream it. Get the album. Definitely a buy. If you ain't got to change, get your stream on. But if you can copy, man, please copy. Support the homie. Let's get some more. He dropped the last album. This album here was back in March, and so it's February. So I'm expecting to hear another album coming soon. Yeah, and so that's pretty much all I gotta say about it, man. For real, I encourage you to get it, and I encourage you to look up the homie, man, and get some more stuff from him or whatever, and see what else he's producing. And if you need some beats, you know what? We got a 16-bar challenge coming up soon, and I'm gonna holler at the homie about getting an exclusive beat for that challenge. Yep, doing that. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. Grace, y'all.